Today we're coloring Goku, the main character of Dragon Ball Z, and we're going to talk about why Dragon Ball Z is easily the most overrated anime ever made. Not garbage, even though I don't like it much, but definitely way too popular currently for what it is. But to be clear, this video is primarily a criticism of the original run of the original Dragon Ball Z. Not Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z Kai, not Dragon Ball Super, not Dragon Ball GT, but vanilla DBZ and its connected media. Also, we'll be talking exclusively about the English version, and before I start bashing every 25-year-old's favorite childhood cartoon, I just want to say, A+ for animation, character design, art, music, and most of the action. Filler. This one has to go first because it's the most obvious. I mean, come on. Frieza says Namek will blow up in 5 minutes, and then it takes 9 actual, real episodes, and Goku spends literally 4 minutes standing still screaming so he can transform into a Super Saiyan 3. Let's just get this one out of the way first, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. Filler, for the few of you who don't know, are episodes of anime created solely to waste time. Anime is usually based on manga, and shows like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Bleach are very guilty of using and or abusing filler. This is done for multiple reasons, mostly because the manga isn't done being written yet and they're stalling for time instead of taking natural breaks. Naruto is currently spamming filler even though the manga is done just for the sole purpose of making money, and according to AnimeFillerList.com has reached a point where the series is 45% filler. A lot of fans would argue that the filler in Dragon Ball Z adds depth to the series. It really doesn't at all. If you take out all the filler, it's still the same series. Goku isn't going to fondly look back on the time he learned to drive with Piccolo. It doesn't matter that Gohan played baseball once in high school or that Bulma farted around Namek losing Dragon Balls and switching bodies with Ginyu. None of this ever comes up again or has an actual effect on the characters. In 2009, Toei Animation started releasing a remade version of Dragon Ball Z called Dragon Ball Z Kai. It was a remastered version of the series that stuck very closely to the manga. Dragon Ball Z is 276 episodes, Dragon Ball Z Kai is 159. That's a whopping 117 episode difference. They cut out entirely made up arcs, they cut out groaning, they cut out staring, they cut out awkward silences. I have to assume they cut out shots of scenery because, oh my god, Dragon Ball Z had so many reused random shots of landscapes with music playing over them. A lot of fans refer to Kai as being the kiddie version because the Nickelodeon version cuts down on the violence, but the original Cartoon Network run of Dragon Ball Z did the exact same thing. They also call it the watered down version and the dumbed down version, which that last one's just funny to me because the show is literally bad jokes and fighting. You can't really dumb something down more than that. I recently went back and watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, and wow, does it do the series justice. It's faster and more exciting. It's got what people with good taste call pacing. Does filler inherently make a show bad? No. Bleach is good. Naruto is good. Dragon Ball Z isn't the worst anime ever. Plenty of anime with filler are still good shows. This is just another drop in the bucket of what makes Dragon Ball Z overrated. The fans. Fans can ruin anything. And Dragon Ball Z fans are like the Justin Bieber fans of anime. I've never seen My Little Pony despite the fact that I still watch plenty of cartoons and it seems to be popular among all ages because the fan base turns me off. But it's not simple, not for me. I have to be exposed to or read a certain amount about the fan base being negative in some way. For Dragon Ball Z, I've spent pretty much my entire life meeting annoying fans. The worst ones share similar traits. 1. They mention or post about Dragon Ball Z as if it's currently relevant. 2. They think that Dragon Ball Z is the best anime ever. 3. They don't watch other anime. Those traits are pretty much enough for me. I would say the anime that inherited Dragon Ball Z's crown would be Naruto. It was a generation later but has a similar feel. Dragon Ball Z and Naruto fans love to argue about which is better. I'll settle that debate right now. It's Naruto. I've seen a lot of arguments about Dragon Ball Z versus Naruto devolve into who would win in a fight, Goku or Naruto. Krillin could kill everyone in Naruto easily. Yeah, that's true. Krillin could probably blow up the whole planet if he wanted to. Does it make Dragon Ball Z a better show? Absolutely not. Naruto as a character has a goal. Naruto as a character changes throughout the show. Naruto as a series has a real plot and villains that affect the plot for more than one arc. He wants to be the leader of his village and gain the respect of the villagers, and as he grows older, he learns how big of a responsibility that is and the sacrifices and struggles that accompany that position. After learning all that, he still wants to do it. Goku wants to be the strongest fighter or train. I don't really know because he doesn't really know. It's a show about nothing.
The show is about nothing.
Well, it's not about nothing.
No, it's about nothing.
In Naruto, the supporting characters have struggles and opportunities to grow and a purpose. Dragon Ball Z is basically a show about how strong the Saiyans are and how Goku will save everyone. Here's the real kicker though, Naruto isn't even that amazing. It has a ton of flaws too. Way too much filler, a story that's been stretched out far too long, and emotional plot lines that occasionally feel forced and repetitive. I know I've talked a lot about Naruto in this segment, but it really is at the core of this for me. Not because Naruto's the best anime ever, but because it isn't. Most Dragon Ball Z fans don't watch anime. Naruto's the new Dragon Ball Z as far as popularity for the target audience goes. Dragon Ball Z fans go to such lengths to argue that it's the best anime ever, and most of the ones I've met have never even seen the original show. It's just called Dragon Ball. I'm assuming that most Dragon Ball Z fans haven't heard of it. It tells what I consider to be very important backstories for a lot of Dragon Ball Z's important characters. It also helps you identify with the characters a little more. Fans aren't entirely to blame for this because Dragon Ball didn't actually come to Cartoon Network until about 3 years after Dragon Ball Z became popular, but the most hardcore fans don't really have an excuse. It's not a prequel. It truly came first and is often ignored despite being a quality show. Imagine if there were diehard fans of Harry Potter that read books 4 through 7 and then said it was the best book series ever. Some of you may be saying, "Fuck you, Carl commentary, I love Dragon Ball Z, Kamehameha, Vegeta, Namek, Hyperbolic, Time Chopper." But that's okay, because we got one stop left on this Nimbus ride. Goku is always late and has to save everyone, and he's the only important character in the show, and it should be called Goku Ball Z. Let's cover a timeline of events really fast, and then I'll continue nitpicking. Raditz and Goku die, Vegeta and Nappa come in, Goku's late because he's dead, heroes get the dog shit beat out of them and accomplish nothing, enter Goku to save the day at the last minute, heroes go to Namek to wish back dead friends, there's a threat but Goku didn't go because he's hurt, Goku gets unhurt by magic bean that existed the entire time and goes to Namek, but only after our heroes get the dog shit beat out of them and accomplish nothing, he saves the day again. Ginyu switches bodies with Goku. Our heroes that can't accomplish anything somehow beat the dog shit out of Goku to save him. But Frieza's the real threat, and he's coming, but Goku's hurt and has no magic beans left. He spends 13 episodes sitting in a bathtub, our heroes get the dog shit beat out of them, and you guessed it, accomplish nothing, and once Goku is healed, he jumps in to save the day. Frieza comes back to life and then comes to Earth, and our heroes are blown away because someone other than Goku managed to save them. Trunks warns them of the androids and the heart virus that the magic bills magically can't fix. Androids show up, Goku has heart problems and needs to be removed from the show. Again, at first, it's the weak androids, and Vegeta does some cool stuff, but then the real androids show up, and our heroes spend a lot of time getting the dog shit bit out of them and accomplishing nothing, and when they finally seem to be making headway, they find out that the androids are the least of their concerns. Really, a lot of nothing happens, and Cell absorbs Android 17 and gets stronger. Noah is a match for him, and then Vegeta is a match for him, but then Vegeta lets him absorb 18 to prove that he is the man and that he ain't never scared. Vegeta gets the dog shit beat out of him. Goku is done training and fights Cell for no time at all, and then tells Gohan to fight. Gohan gets the dog shit beat out of him. Cell farts out some enemies that beat the dog shit out of our heroes. Gohan gets mad and does stuff. Cell kills himself and Goku, but then he comes back because at this point the show doesn't care anymore. Gohan looks like he's going to win and then like he's going to lose, and then Goku's fucking Go shows up and turns into a Super Saiyan and helps Gohan win, which means Goku saves the day. If he weren't there to whisper sweet nothings to Gohan, everyone would have died. Goku saved everyone. The show said like Gohan's going to be the main character. 7-ish years go by and Earth has been safe that entire time. Goku comes back for one day and surprise, surprise, bad guys show up. Stuff happens, Boo appears, Boo is evil, then good, and then farts out evil, then fights his evil self. Goten and Trunks fuse to try and beat Boo and then fail. Gohan gives up the ability to turn Super Saiyan to become a magic guy and tries to beat Boo, and he fails too. Goku shows up and fights alongside Vegeta and does stuff. It should go without saying at this point that Vegeta gets the dog shit beat out of him. Then, after waiting for Goku to charge up the Spirit Bomb, he throws it at Boo, but Boo manages to stop it even though you aren't supposed to be able to deflect the Spirit Bomb if you're evil.
Gohan, you have to bounce it back! The Spirit Bomb was aimed at Vegeta's evil energy. If you don't have any evil in you, you'll be okay.
But then Goku deflects it back at him and kills him, saving the day again. This is a recurring and boring plot device for the show. Remove Goku somehow and make everyone wait for him to save the day. But Carl, Gohan beat Vegeta. Yeah, he delivered the final blow, but Goku's presence is the only reason they won. Goku weakened Vegeta and made the Spirit Bomb and was the one to tell Gohan to look at the artificial moon. But Carl, Gohan beat Cell. Gohan does most of the work, but like I said, if Goku weren't there doing the father-son Kamehameha, then Gohan would have lost. Now that we got your nitpicking of my video out of the way, let's get back to my nitpicking of this series. Everyone besides Goku, surprisingly, does train. They train their little hearts out and they sacrifice and they die for it to end pretty much the same way every time. How is that fresh storytelling? How come there's a reason in every arc for Goku to be missing for large important chunks? That's just bad writing, but it's not just about the writing. It has a negative impact on the overall story if you take any time to think about it. These are the champions of Earth and they spend most of their time training, getting the dog shit beat out of them, accomplishing nothing, and waiting for their daddy to save them. Even the little side missions they're supposed to accomplish are wastes of time. On Namek, they spend a lot of time gathering the Dragon Balls to wish their friends back, but they can only wish back Piccolo, and he can't beat Frieza, so time wasted. In the Cell Saga, they're supposed to hide the androids from Cell, and not only do they fail, but Vegeta practically hands 18 over on a silver platter. How can the show be interesting if I can't respect most of the characters? And how am I supposed to respect the characters when I know that they're just a stall tactic for Goku to show up? So that's it. Do I hate Dragon Ball Z? Nah. Do I think people shouldn't watch it? Nah. Do I hate the fans? Impossible. I'm friends with way too many of the fans. I just think it's way too popular. If Dragon Ball Z Kai were the original, it would have been better. But even then, it doesn't fix the core problems. Predictable arcs, useless supporting characters, awful voice acting, which I didn't get into because it would have made the video twice as long. I said it in my first video and I'll say it again. I'm petty and I have too much time on my hands. So if you want to talk about why I'm wrong and why you're right and how strong Goku is, then leave a comment and I will respond. Also, Superman would easily beat Goku in a fight.